What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. First off, I want to go ahead and shout out Pokemon Center for sucking balls as usual. I did not get my pre-order, and it was just a huge waste of time. But congratulations to everybody out there who was able to get some Phantasmal Flames. But instead, I ended up spending my money on this super dope stack of vintage hollows. I was going to list these individually. I also grabbed this little Torchic for Aspen, and then she threw it on the ground. So it's going to just stay on the shelf. Anyways, guys, check this out. We have this really awesome stack of vintage hollows. Look at that Meganium. Vintage hollows. Yes. So we're going to go over this stack. We're going to go over the stuff that I've just put up for auction. It's actually live right now on my eBay. And then we're going to go over some stuff that I kept for the grading pile. I think you guys are going to agree with me on this one that I made the right choices. It was tough. It was tough letting go of what we let go of. There are a lot of awesome cards here, but we're going to go over all of those right now. So stay tuned because I'm about to clip you guys in to a little bit of POV. All right, and we really don't have time. I have to get to work soon. We will probably do another stream tonight since it seems like streams every night are going to become a thing. Videos every day, streams every night. Let's fucking do it, right? Let's grind. I appreciate you guys for coming out. As always, I appreciate you guys for joining the Discord. As always, I appreciate you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this. We are not going to do a little video showing one vintage card of the day. We might do it, but I don't know. Anyways, most importantly, my Discord convinced me to throw all of these hollows up is a lot on eBay. So that's what we're doing. And I am also setting cards aside for my vintage grading stack. It's getting fat. This is all vintage that I've pulled out of my binder or accumulated over time. And none of it is like Grail vintage. But guys, if I can't afford to buy the PSA 10 first edition cards that I want, or even PSA 9 cards that I want, I'll just grade the unlimited copies. There's a lot of great ways to have placeholders, and this is one of them. Grade what you can find, grade cheap vintage singles, and then eventually you can roll that into the grails that you really want, which will probably be what I end up doing. These are a great example. Behind here, we've got the legendary dogs from Neo Revelation. I have all of those in unlimited in 7 and 8s. I'm very proud of it. Eventually, I'll try and get those in first editions, but like I said, we get the ball rolling, and we've got placeholders. Let's jump into this. These are all in an auction that started at 1 penny. I say started because it's already hit the ground running. Might be at $100 already right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, guys, here we are in the lab, getting things situated. Let's go over this awesome stack of cards that is in this auction. This video will also serve as a reference for anybody wondering about the conditions in this auction. I want to be 10,000% transparent about all the conditions and all the cards in this auction, and my opinions on them value-wise. Some may disagree with that. That's okay. We're letting the market decide what all this stuff is worth, and I'm just the guy who sourced it, but it was a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and talk about this stack. Then we'll go over the stuff that I've graded, stuff that I picked up recently that we're also going to send off for grading in my big stack. But I'm going to keep this stack separate because it's going to be my super recent stack of cards that I found. If I ever want to make a video and be like, guys, look at all the cheap finds I found while everybody else is going for crazy, hyped up modern stuff, this is what we're doing. Okay, now I bought this whole stack for $690, and that was with cash. Didn't have to pay taxes on that. That was also with a 10% discount. So this lot was really valued at $800 off the rip. I took out just a couple cards, and yet I still think this lot is valued probably around $800 to $1,200. First off, we have this absolutely beautiful Meganium. It is sick. There's a head swirl right above him, and he has a freaking hollow orb in his mouth like he's about to run an attack. The front of this card has really good centering. It's in really, really good condition. This is why I wanted to grade this card. It makes such a good binder copy, and it's still worth grading. PSA 6 and 7 of this card is in the $150 area, right? This card I don't think would get a PSA 8, but if it did, I'm pretty sure it would push beyond 200, maybe 220. Anyways, let's go ahead. Take a look at the back of the card. You guys can see it has obvious whitening on that corner, but all the other corners look pretty dang good. There's another white dot right there. There is the card. All right. Here we have a Butterfree. Not worth much. Definitely near mint. Very, very clean. Here we have a Feraligatr. Just such a sick artwork. There's some cheapies thrown in here. That are just fun near mint cards, right? And they're still considered vintage, and honestly, this is such a sick card. I really wanted to grade this one myself, but it has some white dots at the top, so we held off on that. Here we have a sick Pidgeot. There's a lot of cool swirls in these cards, and there's some hollow errors, and there's some ink errors, and we might not go over all of those, but this one has a really, really nice swirl right behind Pidgeot's wing. I don't know if you guys can see that very easily, but swirl. Okay, yeah, really nice hollow on this guy. Looks absolutely beautiful. Super underrated Pidgeot artwork. Definitely did not want to let this go, but that one's off. Here we have a Komiya art style with the Dragon Frontiers Dratini. Dude, this thing is just sick. And these are going for like 20, 30 all day. I don't have the stickers on these originally, but this guy, and the back, super, super clean. This guy was, I think, $11. Absolute freaking steal on that one. We have the Phanpy here. I think Phanpy was like $7. Honestly, absolute steal. And this one, you're not going to be able to see it, but there is a hollow bleed on this one. The whole thing has hollow bleed that goes down the card. I had this in the sunlight today. It looks absolutely beautiful. Phanpy, Donphin are both in here. I like both of those so much. These in particular, the Phanpy and the Donphin were really hard for me to let go of. Also, I needed these for my EX Deoxys binder, but for the sake of knowing what value I got back, I wanted to keep everything together, and I think we'll do that moving forward. Even if I take out a couple cards, for the most part, I want to keep everything in the lot, so that way we can really track the value. And we need this lot. For me to break even, right? I could lose money on this, for sure, but for me to break even, I need roughly $800, and that's break even for me. I get all my money back on these cards. These are free. I get to grade all of these and add them to my collection, but we'll go over that in a second. Here we have the Delta Species Cyndaquil. We paid $4 for this guy. It's in really, really good condition. These are going for like 10, 15 all day. This one's closer to near mint. We've got this really nice McDonald's Trico. The centering was a little off. I did keep the McDonald's Pikachu. We'll take a look at that in a second. You guys can see the centering is a little off, but such a clean copy. I did want to grade this, honestly, but again, the centering's off. I know better. And for cards that cheap, if it's not going to get a really high grade, it's just not worth it. Here we have a Vibrava. You're not going to see the hollow very well on this, but this one is the Near Mint Power Keeper stamp. The stamped cards are super hot right now. There's that. Man, I love this Donphin so much. This Donphin's so tough, so cool looking. We went over this yesterday. Very clean. We have Vaporeon here. Looks really, really good. Super minty fresh. Has a little bit of whitening at the top here in the middle here, and that's about it. That's pretty much the only flaw with this card. We've got some sticker residue here. But yeah, dude, sick. Absolutely sick. And this was 15. I think they're going for like 30. They're 30 in that condition. The Hypno was $39. Honestly, what a freaking steal for a first edition, like one of the OG sets. I just cannot believe that I'm able to find this stuff. And even though I feel like I got fleeced from the shop, in hindsight, it was probably a really good deal. I think that guy's worth more, like 75, 80. Again, just my opinions. I've always had my own hot takes and opinions about vintage cards and how kind of undervalued some of them are. I just think they're a lot nicer in hand than a lot of modern cards today, and I have so much more fun buying them. This Swalot, for example, is absolutely gorgeous with the gold lettering at the top. Art subpar, right? There's not a lot of holo on there, but the holo that is on there, the trees and the brush that's in the background, you can see he's just barreling through like a freaking crop. This is sick with the Crystal Guardian stamp. This is near mint. Basically, on the eBay listing, the first 3 rows are near mint. The 4th row is LP, and the last row is HP, moderately played to HP. Those cards usually have a lot of whitening, maybe a slight crease here or there. This Slowbro, I swear to God, has a swirl in here, but it might not be able to capture it on the camera very easily. Anyways, I just pulled one of these guys, pack fresh on stream. I just had to grab this. This is such a good art. I can't wait to get mine back from PSA. It'll be interesting to see how a pack fresh copy does. This copy, I think, might have been 30-something, 35, 34. I think it's probably valued at 50 or 60, to be honest. There's some really slight whitening at the bottom. But either way, it's a really, really mint. Like the edges are really, really good. So it's a clean copy. I think this one will add a lot of value to the set. Also, with Destined Rivals and just Team Rocket, everything going up, it's a good card to have in the lot. Here we have base 2. I really wanted to add this to my base 2 binder. I actually made the mistake. I should have swapped this out for the one that's in my binder. I should have swapped a lot of these out for the ones that's in my binder. Guys, these are the clean copies I got from the shop. These are not my binder copies. So here I am once again selling the good stuff when I should be swapping it out. This is a near mint Nidoqueen. We picked this up for $15. Absolute steal. Super beautiful. Let's see the back. Here is the back. We have a near mint Ampharos. This Ampharos is going to be hard to see any holo on this or see the swirl. There's a swirl right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, well-centered, near mint. Such a clean copy. 20 bucks even. We got some sticker residue here. All day. Dude, easy peasy pickup. Non-holo Light Flareon from Neo Destiny. If this was first edition, I would not have put it in the lot. Because this is such a clean card, though. Even this one is going to grade really well. Someone's going to hit the come up on this one, probably. Honestly, probably someone's going to hit the come up on that. Articuno, same thing here. This Articuno is super clean, well-centered. Looks like I need to pick a little piece of dirt off. There's a little speck right there. But I consider this was listed LP. I consider this near mint. I don't know about y'all. This looks like near mint to me. It's really, really clean. So this one, I think, is going to add a lot of value to the lot. I really like Articuno. We have one that we added to our grading stack. And I think the one in my grading stack is cleaner on the back, but it has a little hollow flake right here, which I think is going to hurt it in the grading, whereas this one does not. So, I don't know. This could be the cleaner copy, and I've fumbled that bag. It's funny, though. This one was LP for, like, 30, and this one was near mint for, like, 56, I think is what they had it at the shop. So, I really think that this one has just as much potential. But let's keep going. Pre-release Aerodactyl. What an absolutely stunning card. Not only does it has the OG vibes, but you've got the first edition stamp there, and then you've got pre-release stamp there. Bro, this is such a dope card. For $20, get out of here. This thing is going to go $40 or $50. I'm sure of it. You don't see these almost ever. Stamps are really cool, especially like old Watt Sierra stamps. It does have whitening up here. Again, I consider this, honestly, this is probably closer to moderately played for most people. I still consider it with the other edges near mint. It still is a pretty clean card overall. So we have this as near mint. Hopefully that's not overdoing it. But I think this card definitely deserves more than the price of a McDonald's meal. Here we have a Wailord, absolutely stunning holo. Absolutely stunning holo. This one is in the MP, HP area. It's got some whitening up here. Really not that bad, but it's got some whitening down here too. So I hear some people going crazy downstairs. Okay. And if I have time, I'm going to get to the shop again today, and I'm going to grab another random lot of cards. And we're going to see how that goes. One, I get to support local. I'm not just supporting one reseller. It feeds multiple people that work at the shop. And two, I'm hoping this is a part of me gaining trust, building a relationship, and not just being the annoying guy that comes in and buys cards, but hopefully them seeing that there's great long-term value in having someone like me that comes in. Now that we live 5 minutes down the street, I'll be going there a lot, guys. So I will have a ton of access to cards 24/7. I was going to go in right when they open today, but maybe going in later in the day is better. You know, it allows me to see whatever else has come in the shop. Anyways, here we have one of my favorite cards. One of my favorite jungle cards for sure. This one was very difficult for me to let go of. I'm a huge Scyther fan. Scizor, dude, they're both badass. And the fact that this first edition was in the shop, this is just a really dope card to be in the shop. The holo is stunning, basically flawless, but I'm listing this basically in the lot as moderately played. So it has some whitening, don't mind that, just sticker residue. It has some more whitening at the bottom there. But overall, some might say, bro, that's more like an LP copy. They had this listed moderately played for like 50. So I think, you guys can watch the video from yesterday. The stickers are on everything. But I think that this card is going to go for more like 80, 90, maybe 100. Just because, to me, it's one of the best cards in Jungle. I really like to get this hair off there. Anyways, we got this Regigigas with a sick swirl. I don't know if you guys are going to see. There's a really nice swirl down here. But this is just a nice Diamond and Pearl era. We've got a Pop Series 9. They don't go for that much, but it's still really cool. Nice holo. Togepi, Dragon Frontiers, really nice. Definitely a near mint copy. It looks super, super clean. No scratches or anything on the holo. Here's the back. Clean. Magnemite. Now, this was not in the lot. I threw this in there to make it an even 30. This comes from my vintage binder, but we're throwing this in there anyways. The Team Rocket stamp cards are going nuts, and I have 2 copies of this. This is a duplicate I pulled from my binder, so we're tossing that in there. Also, if this auction goes for more than what I'm thinking, I'm just going to toss in a couple of extra holos, because I do appreciate it. We have this Sunkern Unseen Forces that was $2. It was $2. We'll show the back of this. Not bad. Not bad. The front looks actually rougher. $2 Sunkern reverse. Absolutely beautiful. Pretty much worth like $5. Really not worth much. This one is heavily played for sure. We've got this Yanma reverse from Team Rocket. Another Komiya artwork style. Looks absolutely stunning. This one, I think, was like $12-ish. These things are going for like $30 in damaged condition all day. Okay, we got Girafarig. This thing is stunning. It has a swirl right here. I don't know if we're going to see that very easily, but probably if I turn these around, I'd be able to show you guys with the light hitting it. Really, really nice. Really, really nice reverse. Those Legend Maker reverse stamps are awesome. But there's that. Then we've got this Clefairy from Fire Red Leaf Green. It looks absolutely sick. That was like a $2 card. That was such a come up. We got this Pop Series Raikou, which looks awesome. Another little $2 come up. And then we've got our last $2 come up, this Clam Pearl, which looks great. Another Legend Maker reverse. MP for sure. Okay. Now let's get into the stuff that I ended up keeping. First off, we've got Dragonite. Dragonite is just such a classic. It's never going to get old. It's always going to look beautiful. And this copy, y'all, super clean. Great centering. The holo looks flawless. Look at the backside. Backside looks really, really good. Really good. So I think we're going to see big things from this Dragonite. Maybe not a 9, but I think at the very least an 8. An 8 would be good for the Dragonite. So there's that. Here's the Articuno. This was the more expensive Articuno, so it might be a bad idea keeping this one. It does have, probably not going to show, there it is. So you guys see it has a little piece of missing hollow on the wing. To me, that, because the card is so damn clean, that to me just looks like it's a factory flaw. I have seen that before on old WotC hollows, so I'm pretty confident that's what it is. And it's only obvious in the right light. So, I mean, look at the hollow. My God, y'all. There's no scratches on it. Okay, so the Articuno is sick. I think this will get probably an 8, just to be conservative. But, dude, if I get 9s on any WotC hollows when they're not even pack fresh, I'm going to lose it. Like, well, I don't know. This could have been pack fresh, but, again, I'm going to lose it. Okay, next up. This Venomoth first edition looks so freaking sick. The retro purple color, it's very nostalgic. And in first edition, how could you not want to grade that yourselves? To be able to say I've graded a bunch of vintage first edition cards, that's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And now I feel like we're finally doing it. The back is super, super clean. Again, easily PSA 8, maybe PSA 9. I don't think I'm gonna get a 7 on any of these, to be honest with you. Same thing with the Haunter. The Haunter is dumb clean. It has a bit of hollow flake. I don't know if I'll even be able to pull it up, but the hollow's in really, really good condition. I feel like I'm getting better with an eye for grading, and I'm being harsher and being more realistic with myself. And especially with vintage, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. But look how clean that is. When they see these, I don't know. I think they're gonna be lenient on some of these because they're really old and they're in really good condition for what they are. I had a bunch of first editions in the past. I sold all of them. They were not in this good of condition. So this is really a treat to be able to buy these cards. My favorite of the whole lot is this one. First edition Fossil Raichu. Beautiful hollow. Look at that. It's got a scratch. It's got a scratch on there. It's not perfect. This one's probably going to get an 8. It has some whitening at the top. Maybe a 7. I don't think they're going to give it a 6. But, I mean, nothing would shock me. Could get a 6. The bottom is clean. The side edge is clean. This edge is clean. But this top edge has that whitening right there. Very well could mean this gets a 6. Honestly, that's how crazy. I mean, that could be a 6 right there. Could be a 7. I think a 7 is probably what I'm going to hope for. Not getting an 8. Definitely not getting an 8. 7's what I'm going to hope for. If it gets a 6, I'm not going to cry about it. It's a really clean displaying copy, though, so I feel like it's going to get a 7 at least. I would be happy with a 7. As long as I get a 7 or higher on a lot of those vintage cards, I'm happy. Okay, this was just an extra. We had another one of these Pop Series Raikus. It has a nice little swirl up here, so I'll probably list this on eBay in a little bit. I have a stack over there that I need to list on eBay of just binder copies that I've pulled that I'm just not happy with. So we're going to let those go. One of the last ones, this Feraligatr. So I'm on the fence about grading this. Yes, you can see that it's heavier on the right side. But, I mean, let's go ahead and look. It's one of my favorite cards I graded recently. So let's look at the copy up here that I graded. Centering doesn't look that much better on this copy. Hold on. I don't know. Personally, I feel like y'all can't see it, but the centering's really the same. It's definitely, like, you can see from this corner that it's thinner on the bottom, and on this side, it's thicker on the left side. So, whereas this copy is thinner. I'll just go over the natural light. This copy is thinner on the left side and thicker on the right side, but they're basically the same. And the back of this one, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just making the orientation crazy. I'm sorry. The back of this one is really clean. So I think we should send this one in for grading as well. There's a teeny tiny white expecting there on the corner. They might count that as a corner ding, but it's not an expensive card. I would love to get another 10 of these. It's just such an easy play. And for $2, $3 market, there's no point to try and selling that. No point including it in the lot. Last but not least, so the Raichu is my favorite, I think. But if we're talking potential, the card with the most potential is this Pikachu. For a whopping $15, I saw this in the binder. I think they should have repriced it. Especially because this copy is literally perfect. And not only is the centering, like, you guys might say the centering's off. I don't think the centering's off. The centering looks really good on this copy. Really excited to have this with my Celebration Zard in a 10. This card has the most potential. 375 in PSA 10. Probably realistically more like 300 in PSA 10, but still. $15. Grading will be $19. That'll be $34 all in. And after I sell this stack right here, it's not really $13 all in anymore. This basically just becomes free now because this has paid for everything. All of these will just be free to grade. And this, when people talk about, you know, I collect for free, you know, it's not as easy as they make it look. There is legwork involved, right? You have to know what to look for. But for the most part, this is a great way to sustainably collect. You have to let go of stuff. Even the stuff you like, you have to let go of it. But if you have a good eye, it's not just about checking the market, but you have to have a good eye. I saw this in the binder, knew nothing about the value, but knew that I wanted it. Now, the centering I saw was good, but I knew that I wanted it regardless. I have a stack of Pikachu cards in that box. That box is absolutely full, stacked this big, of base set Pikachu, base 2 Pikachu, Japanese Pikachus, all kinds, Sun and Moon Pikachus, all kinds of Pikachus. I got hella Pikachus, tons of different variants. Pikachu is definitely one of my favorites and definitely a fan favorite. But anyways, that is the whole lot. And then we've got our Dark Blasty, our Vaporeon, and our base set Blasty, which this one is on my eBay. These two I'm definitely sending off because I want to get these graded for sure. But this is on my eBay because I already have a base set Blastoise and a 7 that I graded. It was $40. Graded a 7, worth a decent chunk more now. Same deal here, except this one was, I think, $75-ish. A good bit more than the last copy I bought. Maybe even just as clean or cleaner than the last copy I bought. But yeah, I don't think I can keep this, because if I keep this, then it's just money I spent on all three of these, which was $280. If I sell this, basically these get sent for free. And that's what I'm trying to do, is just grade some stuff for free and basically not spend any money on this stuff. Because I'm trying to buy bigger vintage Grail cards, but this is all a part of that. So, and that grading submission, once I complete most of my vintage goals, when that submission goes out, it's gonna be crazy. I've got so much stuff I'm ready to send out to come back. It's gonna be exciting. Anyways, peace out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this POV, and don't sleep on the illustration contest for Alligator. Also, fun fact, I have a ton of these, but I have a ton of these raw and a ton of these that I graded. But Salamence, oh, that's Vibrava. I didn't know Vibrava was going to pop up in there. Anyways, we got Salamence. We got so many Salamence. I have a lot more sitting in there. Not the best organization, but big believer in Salamence. There's so many of these. Honestly, I've been saying I thought the Salamence was dope, and this one's nice and clean. 18 PSA 10s, and that whole box is full of PSA 9s. The PSA 9 is no longer $60, $70. The PSA 9 is now $80. I was buying these shortly after release and this shows that you can still win even buying cards shortly after release. I wanted them all packed fresh, but $80 in a 9. I was buying them at $100 to $130. And in a 10, Now I think 300, 350, 375 are like the lowest priced ones. So I'm pushing for 500 now. We're pushing higher on this Salamence. I think it can do more. I love this card for the art, but I was not about to sell it for that. Hell no. This art is way too good. One of the best, most slept on arts in the modern space. Like Scarlet Violet, in my opinion, let's get this in front of the light. Bruh. Such a nice card. Like, seriously, why is it taking so long for people to come around to this card? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. You guys don't see the beauty here? Is that what it is? You just don't see the beauty here. I don't know. And I don't even know when I'm going to sell the first copy. Like, I am actually so proud that I'm sitting on 18 PSA 10s. Like, I'm very proud of that. I think I might end up making a display of just the Salamence. But I love this card. I think it's sick. I think if you guys can find this for $250 to $300, snag it. Snag it while you can. But also, I also think if you can find this for $70, $80 and it's a PSA 10 maybe, grade it. Grade these. These are a move for sure. And it's a stunning artwork. There's been nothing like it in Scarlet and Violet yet. No card has matched this card's aura, in my opinion. But I'm also a huge fan of dragons. That might be why I think this card is so much better than everything else, because I just genuinely like dragon Pokemon. That tickles my fancy. Salamence, Rayquaza, Charizard, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. Anyways, peace out, y'all. Let me know what you guys think of the Torchic. Peace. Hello, people. I didn't think we were going to do it, but here we are. We're doing it anyways. We are talking about another one of my favorite vintage cards. Instead of focusing on a hype beast grail, we won't be talking about any of the crazier cards. We'll be talking about something I graded recently that I'm very proud of that came from my vintage binder. I've been scouring my binder and looking for stuff to grade, and I have a huge stack that you guys just saw. I don't know when we're going to send that out, but it's going to be epic. There's going to be a lot of stuff like this. 6s, 7s, 5s, I'm sure. But I just want to get these cards graded before the cost of grading goes up, because once grading goes up, it's going to get stickier. I could see grading going up to $25 a card for bulk. I seriously can see that happening. It's 19 is already unbelievable. Like, it should be 14 or 12 or 10. 19 is crazy for grading bulk. Anyways, that being said, I'm trying to just grade as much as I can while we can. I think 19 may look cheap in retrospect in the coming years, but anyways, here we have one of the most beautiful Espeon cards, and it's in a 7, but literally I'm gonna have so here's my collection. So for anybody still watching this, I don't hate modern, and I don't want people to think that I hate modern, because the reality is I just spent the last 10 minutes before doing this video looking at all my modern stuff, just appreciating how far I got with my modern collecting. I have like almost all the Sword and Shield alt arts in 10s. I have almost everything that's been popular in Scarlet and Violet in 10s. And a lot of illustration rares in 10s that I graded myself that are very popular. Very proud of that. So I have a lot of Scarlet Violet slabs. I have a lot of Sword and Shield era slabs. And I kind of got as far as I needed to get. In my Sword and Shield briefcase, I'm also including Sun and Moon. So I have a lot of the Sun and Moon tag teams. I need Espeon, Deoxys, Umbreon, Darkrai, and I need the Lovebirds. And then I'm pretty much like done with that, and I want the Togepi. But with what's happening with vintage, I think this is how it's going to go. I'm going to grade whatever I like and whatever grades, as long as I think it could be a 7, 8, or 9. Really. But I will be buying high-end Grail cards probably in grades 9 and 10. But, like, the stuff that I'm grading will not end up for sale on my eBay. Like, these are still staying in my collection. I still think 7s, 8s are worth keeping. And I think they're going to go up in value a ton once the 9s and the 10s aren't available. Anyways, that could be a long ways out, but still, this card was, I think, like $30 or $40 when I bought it raw. And so now it's basically like a $300 card in a 7. Anyways, these evolutions in the reverse stamp, the Delta species, are so fucking nice, right? The all of them, there's not a single one that I don't like. I would like to have all of the evolutions Delta species. I would say they might even be the best evolution cards of all time. The gold lettering, the gold foiling around the card, the reverse, how it pops off, the stamp, and the Espeon in particular is extremely, this is a really nice Espeon card. And also, it's fun that basically I'm in it for like 50 bucks. That's what makes it so much more fun collecting these cards. And just to give you guys an idea on why I'm so confident with those other vintage cards we're about to send out, this one had plenty of whitening on the top. White dot, 2 white dots, white corner there, pretty good corner there, pretty good corner here, whitening on that corner, whitening and some lifting on that corner. And then some obvious whitening right here as well, where my finger is. This is, like, I would say probably closer to PSA 8, honestly, but I think 7 was a very, very fair grade. So I'll be happy if I get any 7s or 8s on the vintage that I'll be sending in. It will increase the value of them. Unless, if I get 5s and 6s, I'm pretty much shafted, but I really don't see the cards I'm about to send in getting 5s and 6s. I feel pretty good about them. And it's been tough. PSA has been cruel. So, anyways, back to this Espeon, the 2005 Espeon reverse foil Delta species. These are low pop, and even these lower grades are low pop. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like the highest grade. They're still super rare. And so I urge you guys, to buy stuff to grade. Don't go out and spend $300 on a reverse. You might end up having to spend $100 on a copy, locally or at a show, but it still beats spending $300. One of the only ways to sustainably collect in this hobby, especially if you're not like a rip and shipper or a whatnot or a big seller, or you get distribution, it's tough out here for the little guys, right? But everybody can grade. There's nothing holding you back from being able to grade. Even a dumbass like myself grades. And I get some awesome grades back. And I get some not so awesome grades back. But that is the name of the game. Anyways, this Espeon is beautiful. It's a beautiful day out. I'm about to upload this video and then get to work for a comedy show. We have our live comedy tonight. It's going to be a good time. Last night for karaoke was fucking lit. I did really, really well. So, and we just got our renter in the other house to sign the lease. So I'm getting my first payment on the 23rd, and I'm getting the security deposit up front. That will be direct deposited into my account. I'm so fucking hyped, guys. I'm so fucking hyped. We did it. We fucking did it. Passive income on the way, and a family is moving in, and that's important. That's a beautiful thing, that a mother and her 2 children are moving in. I feel good that I'm supporting that and becoming a foundation for someone to move to Charlotte and be with their family again. She's moving here because all her family is here. But anyways, yeah, this card is sick, and I kind of love these sections of the videos. I say like, oh, we might not have time today. Of course we have time. Of course we have time to do a video showing some vintage cards that we love. Such a great addition to the channel. Anyways, peace, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. And maybe tonight, I'll see you guys for live stream tonight.